Hi, I'm Shona McCarthy and today I'm going to show you how to wear obi if you're a Western woman who just can't wear the standard knots because of course the obi is going to be too small unless you've had it custom made. And this I'm doing with two Nagoya obi. Now this look though, it's elegant enough that you can wear the two Nagoya obi with furisode as well, but I'm starting out with my basic outfit here, and we'll see where we go from here. Now you can start, like what I've done here is I've tried to make sure they go with what I'm wearing as well. Now as you're probably a big woman, what you should do is start with the black one. Now I'm tying the knot on my front today, as I often do, because it's easier to flip it around to the back when you're done working on it and finish it off there than to try and do the whole thing on the back. I mean, I was trying to do it that way, but it's so much harder. So from here, you'd start it the way you start a standard otaiko or obi-dormi knot, and just bring the wide bit through. But here is where it starts to change. You get the other Nagoya obi and you pull this section through. Now once you've done this, and this is the narrow end by the way, from here you can do all sorts of things with it. I also could have started with this on this side, depending on what I like, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up till the wide bit is starting about here, as you can see, and I'm going to put this across and try to fold it neatly so that it forms a sort of half a bow here. And this end I'll fold in half and I'll put across here so that its short end is sticking out over here. And I think that looks pretty good. You know, you want it, it's nice when you turn around and people can see a little over your shoulder. So I've tried to do that there. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take this and wind it all the way around what I've just done and the knot I did just before it. And this will hold it while I'm working on other things. You know, I find because I'm bigger than the average Japanese person, that more often than not, I look disproportionate with standard obi knots, especially the ones intended for casual wear. So here I've taken the narrow end and the wide end and I've lined the knot together. Now it might be feeling a bit heavy at this point, but just try to trust me. And see, look how long that is there. That gives you plenty of length to work with. And you just put this up here, and you get your obe age with your obi makura inside it, and just tuck it inside so it's holding up both the narrow end and the wide end. And you pull it across your body and tie it at the back like so. Now, right now I'm going to just tie that roughly and loosely so that it is just out of the way. I can fix it up when I flip it around. Now, from here, you'll notice you have the narrow bit there. Now what I would do is put it out to one side or the other, doesn't really matter. And you just want to make sure your obi age is covering the obi makura, or else it can be a bit embarrassing. And yeah, you treat it like you're doing a sort of fukuro or obi knot at this point, and you just try to line everything up so it's straight. And this is more easily done in front of a mirror than a webcam, I would say. But yeah, just fiddle with that until you feel comfortable with its appearance. And then you just hold it with your wrist against it while you fiddle with this part. Now this part, you want to fold in half so that it doesn't show through and bulge out, you know, dangling like some kind of a monster's tongue out the side. And this, I like to put inside this part here, inside that first area, because it's going to help it to just stabilize and just hold it down. And the same goes for the long end over here. I'm going to put that through, and that is looking nice and voluptuous as we would want. You may want to straighten this up, or you might want to put it diagonally to give it a bit of extra pizzazz. And from here you take your obijime. Now this I'll mention here because it's very hard to obtain affordable obijime in Australia. You can either go on eBay, and sometimes they'll be selling bulk packages of used obijime. Or what I've done is I've taken old curtain cords and just cut them off, and made sure they're long enough, by the way, and knotted them at the end. And because they're intended for display, they do still look quite pretty and extravagant in most cases. I'm just tying this casually at the back, which will soon be my front again. And if you look closely, I'll give you a close-up. You can sort of see that it's got a bit of a nice extra flourish there. And this is great for, you know, the voluptuous woman, so she doesn't look disproportionate. And just carefully turn this around. Try to do it without disturbing anything else you're wearing. And this is looking pretty awful at the front, but hang on, we just want to make sure that it's in the right place at the back here. And then you take your obi-age and you tie it again. And that's another thing, because with these two knots, you have to tie it in one direction and then you have to tie it backwards. If you've already tied the first one backwards because it was on your back, you know, doesn't matter. Now to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm going to take this knot to the side here, and what I might do is do a nice little bow. And from here you just want to make sure that your obi-age isn't poking out, and you just want to neaten that up a little. And yeah, that's a good look, I think, for formal to semi-formal occasions, depending on what sort of kimono you wear it with. And people within the kimono community are going to look at you and think, now how did she do that? And that is really cool, I think. So if you have other ideas on kimono for bigger girls, you know, I mean aside from, of course, sewing your own obi, let me know. And you know, you can leave your comments, you can send video replies, and thanks for watching.